Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome again back to Area Nerdy 1. I am your host, Jarrett.
And I am your other host, Jimmy. We are currently sans Matt.
Yes, Matt had to be pulled into a big meeting. Apparently, we didn't, use our shared land with Area 51 very well, honestly.
I honestly think that I think he's been moonlighting for the SCP organization. He's been eaten by the Endless Eel.
Yeah, the SCP Foundation actually has terrible funding. Those bastards keep breaking out all the time. I have no idea.
It makes it for an interesting read. So, this is Game-vember continued, where we talk about all video games all month of November,
Yes.
leading up to Cyber Monday, where they just go hog wild on those sales.
They just release everything, which is really kind of cool, but the market gets pretty flooded with, especially sometimes very good games.
Yeah, the thing is, as we mentioned last time, this year, the market's a little bit more constricted because of things like delays, COVID-19, etc. But we're going to be talking about what our wish list for 2021 is. Now, what's awesome about it doesn't have to be a brand new game, just games that we haven't bought before that maybe we're interested in buying when they go on sale from like $60 to $5.
Yeah. And we have a couple of interesting game, movies, and shows coming out that we're going to be talking about.
Indeed we do, Jarrett. Indeed we do. But first, I think that we have a little word from our sponsor.
We do. We have a sponsor now, our first ever sponsor, which is Big Nerd Coffee Company. So we would love to give them a shout out right now. I have a prepared speech.
All right, let's hear it.
All right. Big Nerd Coffee Company has the best local coffee and the only choice for Area Nerdy 1.
That's us.
That is us. It's us. Hey! So they have all the drinks and grub you need for your adventures or just a regular morning. And so I just want to say thank you to Big Nerd Coffee Company for sponsoring this episode, and they're going to be our partner for the foreseeable future. And we're joining the resistance against corporate coffee. So give them a like on their Facebook. They're tagged on our posts today. And order your coffee. They actually had a Krampus brew that was phenomenal, and it sold out. I didn't know this, but they do short-term little specialties.
Small batch coffee company. All right, I'm
like
into
kind of like it's a microbrew technically.
Exactly.
Yeah. So get those while they last. We're using our coffee company tumblers right now.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, they're really nice. Yeah. So give them a like and hop onto their Facebook for what's new on the menu and what new roast is brewing out back.
Yes, I'm gonna get into mine as soon as I'm done with my beer.
Yeah. I honestly, I was a tea guy for like 2 years, and the only time I would get a coffee is like a black coffee.
Really? Because you never mentioned it condescendingly ever.
Yeah. You know how you know a tea drinker?
Oh, how, Jarrett? How?
Don't just wait. They'll tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
So and then I tried some of their just their regular black brew house blend, and it is phenomenal. I literally can't stop drinking it. That's why I'm so jittery all the time.
Yeah, worth it.
Yes, totally worth it. So give them a like and tell them thank you from us. Thank you so much. From one word nerd to another.
And this is Big Nerd Coffee Company. That's their logo. Check them out. They are on. Let's take a look at their website just to be sure.
They're on Facebook. They don't have a website at the moment.
All right, go. So check them out
on their Facebook.
All right, check them out. Go to Facebook. Check them out at Big Nerd Coffee Company. This is the logo you're gonna find.
And they really understand nerd culture. I mean, their logo is a 10-sided die or 20-sided die.
Is one of us? Yes.
Yes, one of us.
One of us. So, IRL, you go to Big Nerd Coffee Company, you get +1 initiative because the coffee gives you initiative, whatever you do.
At Big Nerd Coffee Company, their quality is always a nat 20.
You gotta stop giving them free material, Jarrett.
Yeah, wow.
Big Nerd Coffee Company, like, we love you, but you gotta buy us some equipment before we start throwing away some, free advertising like that.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, seriously cannot say enough. But let's jump into the show for today.
Let's go into it. What's our first topic for today?
So the first topic today is, well, let's go with the main topic, shall we? So the main topic, actually, you know what? No, let's start with the main topic.
No,
Let's start with the main topic. Yeah.
We're not beating around the bush. We're going right to the main course.
All right. So, Jarrett,
Go.
you know, the holidays are coming up. You know, Black Friday's coming up, where we're going to be throwing bows, trying to get the brand new game console.
Oh,
I personally am going to be camping out starting tonight to try and find a PS5. I'm just kidding. Having worked retail, I am not doing that. But
Yeah.
you know, the main thing coming up that I'm excited for is Cyber Monday. That's when all the games on Steam start going on sale. Are there any that you want to pick up this year?
This year, so I really wanted to get Warhammer 3.
Warhammer 3.
Warhammer 3.
Total War Warhammer 3.
So, Nurgle gameplay is coming out. The Chaos Gods, I think, are getting a major boost all through this.
Oh yeah.
So I played the second one and a little bit of the first one of the Total War Warhammer, which is really good. They were really good, but the Chaos feel like definitely got overlooked. The Beastmen got some gameplay updates, which is really good. But just Chaos in general is not exactly a viable faction, I don't think. I think this game is going to focus heavily on the Chaos factions.
Yeah, it seems like they definitely. I think they just released a trailer for, you know, with some much more Chaos gameplay.
Yes, it looks like it's the main rivalry is going to be between the Dark Elves and Nurgle. It looks like.
And then there's the Ogre faction. That's a new one.
The Ogre Kingdoms. Yes, fans have been begging for that one for a while.
So are ogres part of the Warhammer lore?
Yes, they are. So it's not like every race kind of in the Warhammer, the Lorehammer, as I should say. TM trademarked by me. They're not like a front and center faction, but they are definitely there. It's kind of like one of those factions that are kind of in the purview. But the gameplay characteristics is going to be very interesting because they're kind of like very heavy infantry.
Yeah, it seems like
it's going to be very bulky. I wonder how competitive play is going to be using them.
And you know how they're going to be using them? They're going to be using them so they can make Shrek references and do Shrek voice impressions the entire time.
This battle's ogre already.
This is my swamp. DK Express, please tell me that you're going to just do Shrek impressions the entire time streaming Warhammer.
Yes. What are you doing in my swamp? I don't know. There better be a unit roster where they're riding donkeys. Or just have a donkey.
Right, yeah.
Or half donkey, half dragons.
There's gotta be at least a passing reference to...
The mod community is going to go insane over this.
The mod community... just make them all Shreks. That's
Shreks.
Nice. At least make the king Shrek, yeah.
No, but it's from the... from that YouTube video.
Yeah,
but it's that one.
It's the unsettling sim Shrek, yeah.
It's all ogre now.
Yeah. So, any other game? Well, there's plenty of games that I'd like to talk about.
Okay. I'm again for any of our fans, I'm not a huge gamer. I don't game very often, and I usually play one or two of my favorite games. So I'm a really bad person to ask about that. But what game are you specifically looking forward to the most?
Well, first and foremost, it's Total War Napoleon is one that I wanted to get. It's not super expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It's $25, but I don't like to spend that much on games anyway, so I'm waiting for it to go on sale for like $3, in this coming week.
Yeah.
And I'm a fan of Total War, the franchise. I've much more recently started to become a Napoleonic history buff.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're one of those guys.
What are one of those guys, Jared?
Those history guys that think all of world history encompasses the Roman Empire, the Napoleonic Wars, and World War II.
Honestly,
and it just ends after that, and sometimes Vietnam.
Honestly, no. Okay, if you're gonna be like a history buff about war and stuff, then the Napoleonic era, you could do a lot more toxic than the Napoleonic era.
That is fair.
Jeez, telemarketer.
Telemarketers can't get us down here in Area Nerdy 1.
It just came right out and said it. Anyway, yeah. So
wow.
Yeah, Napoleonic era. I would say if you're gonna be a history war buff, it's probably one of the less toxic ones you can go with.
Right.
And I'm probably one of the only. Growing up, I was probably one of the only teenage boys like in the universe that wasn't interested in World War II, and that holds over till today.
Yeah.
But honestly, like I have a friend who's a mutual like history buff, and he likes Total War, and we just want to play Napoleon. So yeah, just so those sections of history aren't for everybody. I'm not gonna be like, oh, everyone should look at this, but yeah, that's just kind of the reason why I want to do it.
So my favorite war to read about is the French and Indian War. Do you think that Napoleon Total War will have a campaign for the French and Indian War, Theater?
No, I don't, because Napoleon, the French and Indian War was like the 1760s into the 1750s, and then Napoleon was like the 1790s.
Sometimes they have like campaigns from like other it is France, and it goes directly into the rise and fall of Napoleon.
Yeah.
That's what I would like to do.
They might have a War of 1812 campaign because it was the same era, but I doubt they'd have a French and Indian one. And besides that war that might be a little dicey to turn into a video game. I don't know, like.
Why?
But it's just that one's kind of a very fluid war. I don't know. All right, this is a video game nerd podcast.
Yeah, we're not talking about history. We didn't come here to learn.
We didn't come here to educate. We came here to turn our brains off and play video games.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, but in all seriousness though, like I also study a lot of the French and Indian War because where we live, IRL, stuff like there's areas where that has happened. Like there's historical sites about that era.
Yeah.
And that is one, war conflict that is very underrepresented in movies and stuff.
And media in general.
Yeah, exactly.
You basically have Last of the Mohicans, and that's about it.
You have Last of the Mohicans.
That's the first and last.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a baller movie, but okay.
Yeah, because I even went to over this fall. I went to Fort Ticonderoga.
Yeah,
that was fun.
That never gets old.
What's another one you got?
So, following the sort of historical, pseudo-historical thing, is New World, which I was introduced to this by my friend Rias, who we've mentioned many times on the show.
Yeah.
So he was like, we're trying to find games to play together, and he was like, let's do New World. And this looks a little bit like, how would I describe it?
Pseudo historical fantasy.
Pseudo-historical fantasy, yeah. It's an MMO.
Which I didn't know that when the first of the trailers dropped.
Yeah, it's also like semi-survival, it's a little Skyrim-esque in that it's like open world and you have to go like defeat creatures, but it's also an MMO. I'd say, I played it a little bit at Rise's house, checked it out. It's still got some bugs that they have to work through. I'd say it's not 100% there yet, but it looks promising, and I think that it's something that we want to play together. So I'm also but again, I'm more willing to buy it if it is marked down incredibly low.
Do you know who plays that?
I mean, like people, like
but DK Express does that, and he streams his live play as well.
No way.
He actually kind of likes it. Yeah. It looks interesting. I'm more like a lore and explorer kind of person. So the MMOs are not my cup of tea,
What do you think about Elden Ring? Have you seen the reviews for that?
I have not. What's Elden Ring?
So Elden Ring, was a collaboration. I think that, let's see here, it was Guillermo del Toro was definitely involved, and
he's got sticky fingers all over everything.
And let's see here, basic, but it's a fantasy role playing game. Let's see here, directed by Hidetaka Mizuyaki. So very high level stuff, but and it looks gorgeous. It looks like I think one of the critics.
It's George R. R. Martin. That is.
What did I say?
You said Guillermo del Toro.
Well, okay. The reason I said that is because it's very visually lush.
Also, no offense to them, but they're kind of like, the bearded fat nerds are, the trio is Guillermo del Toro, George R. R. Martin, And
Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson, you read my mind on that one.
I mean, if you want to make it a quartet, it's George Lucas.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Make it a quintet, it's Gary Gygax.
Jesus Christ.
I could go on.
We could go on with that. But that looks interesting. I feel like George R. R. Martin does put out pretty good quality stuff. So he doesn't really like his name put onto stuff that doesn't have like a lot of love and a lot of heart in it. But can you stop and just finish the Winds of Winter, please?
Anyway, so the reason I ask is because
where's Winds of Winter?
We all want to know that. The answer is
I dream
maybe.
of spring. I dream of spring.
The answer is yes. So the Elden Ring. So the reviews coming out thus far are that it looks amazing. It looks awesome. It's basically visually a cross between people have described it as a Studio Ghibli meets Skyrim.
Okay.
Or Dark Souls or something like that.
I like that.
Yeah, and but it's just there's not like a lot of interaction that goes on. Like you show up, you find stuff, and you fight them, and that's really it. There's not a lot of like interaction or lore that can go on.
Damn.
So that's the drawback with that one so far.
Well, it seems like even with New World, when they release these kind of things, especially if they're MMOs, that they just become, they're not really work. Like they're not perfect when they release them. They need to be updated constantly to actually function in order.
Right. So another a small quirk, that we found while playing New World is one of the main weapons that you can use in it is a musket.
Right.
Rise was using a musket, and he's like, okay, it was just one thing. Take a look at this. There's just turkeys running around, so he aims at a turkey, aims at it directly, and then just straight line.
Yeah.
So it's basically a sniper rifle, but it's a musket.
So it's not very realistic.
It's not very realistic. Getting back into history. This is a very historical podcast, apparently now.
Yeah. We're a history podcast.
Yes.
Area 31. History.
So like these armies that use like these smoothbore muskets, we're basically like, okay, it's gonna take way too long and way too much ammunition for you guys to actually like target practice. So we're just gonna teach you all to get in a group and shoot from the hip and like really just hope you hit something.
Yeah, that's why that line fire was just so effective at first.
So yeah, it was so yeah, like small thing, but it's like okay, like at least in like really good games, especially ones that have slow moving weapons like arrows, I guess you could say, they have arc to the arrow. So the game physics are maybe a little bit broken, but I'm definitely looking forward to, these are all games I want to start playing games with my friends again. That's what I want to get into.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm choosing these things. Let's see here. What's another one that I've got? Okay, so this one, let me just double check to see where the like what platforms this is coming out.
Yeah, so are you like so you're definitely looking to get into more of MMOs then?
Yeah, I'm not really. I'm looking to get into stuff that I can play with my friends, and that's generally MMOs. So we all downloaded Sea of Thieves, and we're trying to get into that.
It's like Pixar made a pirate movie.
Exactly. So this game is coming out, and I'm kind of interested to see how it turns out. Sifu, or Sifu, depending on the pronunciation you want to go with. But you know me, hey Jared, would you say I'm a bit of a kung fu movie fan?
I'd say you mention it every once in a while. I'd say you mention it every once in a while, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a full-on, just straight-up kung fu game. And honestly, like, watching the fight mechanics of this game, I really enjoy it.
Okay. So it's a, it's not like a Mortal Kombat fighting game, but it's a different kind of fighting game.
It's a story-based one, so basically you're the dude there, and you're trying to find... Yeah, you're the Sifu. No, I think you're trying to get revenge for your Sifu.
Okay.
So it's a little bit Paper Tigers.
Which is a great movie.
Yeah.
I need to gush about that movie more.
Yeah, it is. It's an amazing movie. Yeah. And this is a little bit, the fighting reminds me a little bit of Paper Tigers, because Paper Tigers, their fight scenes are a little bit more close combat, not like the super, it's definitely kung fu, it's definitely stylized, but it's not like, wire fu or wuxia type kung fu.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool,
And it's also what I really liked about it is that the characters in that movie get hurt, they're not just like getting beat up and throwing punches without, something happening to them. Like they're getting kind of torn down a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they've got to come back from stuff. They've got to get up and go to work the next day.
Yeah.
So yeah, this game. So it's the story is you're finding revenge, and you go through. It's the story, but you have to fight the minions and then the bosses.
Okay.
Fairly simple, but here's the thing: you can you learn from your experiences. You get new skills that you can use, and you can die.
Okay.
Here's the interesting game mechanic. You die, but then you have in the game you have like an amulet. You spend one of like the medallions to come back, but every time you come back, you are older.
Oh.
So that's why I was wondering why in all these trailers hey, why does he look young now, old now? Like in this one, he's got gray hair. He's older. So if you die in the game, you spend the medallions, and you can basically kind of level up and learn from your mistakes.
Right.
But you are older, and your health goes down and your stamina goes down and stuff, and yeah, it's so it's
so even though you learn, you take a little bit.
Yeah, it comes with a price.
That's interesting. I like that mechanic. That's interesting. I wonder how that's going to work actually into the gameplay.
Yeah, so it seems like they were really trying to be okay, how can we give the players the experience of what it would be like to be learning to fight as you're going.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing that a lot of these that's a lot of kung fu movies. The guy starts out, he's doing good, and then he fights the big boss and he gets his ass whooped, and then he has to recover and then do a training montage.
Like Rocky.
Yeah, exactly. So this is kind of like that. It's a little bit faster paced, but it's okay, you got beat. Now cue training montage. You're the best around.
That's all the lyrics we can afford.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. That actually, I wonder if that could actually tie in with the Nemesis mechanism from Lord of the Rings: Shadow of Mordor, because as you learn and go through the game, there are characters that go along with you. Perhaps that could, with that on your aging, that's how you learn and adapt. But the people around you also age and adapt.
I don't think that they necessarily age and adapt, but as you go on, it gets. As you level up, it levels up and gets harder with you. I think. I don't know for sure, but that's what it kind of sounded like.
It just sounds like you just beat the shit out of this guy and killed him, and then you turn around and he's up, and now he's 45.
Yeah, pretty much. Exactly.
But I was just saying, maybe it could be you spend one of the medallions, you age, but when you go up to fight this same guy, he's older and he's learned as well.
Right.
And there's that progress.
That's what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a time skip type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it looks like it's more in the moment.
It's okay.
Yeah, kind of. I know I've seen this thing in movies before, like the person uses the power, but then they get older as they use it. I know this has been a trope before.
That's not the never-ending story, is it?
No, but what is? I'm trying to think. Okay, I definitely know in that Mystery Science Theater, Merlin's Shop of Mystical Wonders, the guy gets the magic book, and every time he uses the magic, it uses some of his life force.
Yeah, I know.
It's definitely a trope. It's definitely a used item.
Getting older.
Yeah. Get using a magical item, but then it makes you older or weaker, or whatever it is.
I've honestly never seen that before.
Okay. Then this game is gonna be a new experience for you.
Yeah. All right. Well, is there another game?
There should be. I don't know. I think that's all the games I have.
That's all the games we got.
I mean, there's
definitely more, and of course we have Halo.
I'm going on my Discord right now. So let's see here. I've got Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
Because I already know what Arkham Knight happens in Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
I've seen all the cutscenes for the Arkham series. I think that they're amazing, cinematically.
Yes.
Actually. And but I kind of want to play through that one.
Okay.
Next year, No Man's Sky, The Hunt,
Shadow. I heard that. I kind of was interested in that too.
Yeah. Phasmophobia. So I don't really do horror games that well, but this was it's overwhelmingly positive reviews, and it was prescribed to me by my friends. So same with Outer Wilds. I have that on my wish list.
Yeah.
Valheim definitely is one of those ones I want to play with my friends. I think Matt would be into that. He likes Vikings too.
Yeah. But how are you going to play all these computer games on your shitty little computer?
It's easy. I won't. I'll just hoard them until I can finally get myself a decent gaming computer.
Someday I'll be able to play them.
Or I can play like 2 or 3 like smaller older games, or I can play one baller like MMO.
There is one game I do want to get on Cyber Monday.
What is that?
That is Jurassic World Evolution. Jurassic World Evolution 2.
Jurassic World Evolution.
Jurassic World. I need more dinosaurs in my life.
All right, why don't you tell me about that while I'm getting the visual up.
Yeah, so it's the sequel to Jurassic World Evolution. So it's a park builder.
Like Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah, almost exactly, except the roller coasters can break out of their roller coaster pens and kill everybody.
Uh-huh.
Which I accidentally do all the time.
Accidentally do?
So, funny story, the first time I was playing that game, I accidentally kept leaving the gates open for the Velociraptor pens.
Yep.
And I was just like, why are people screaming so much? And it turns out I kept releasing Velociraptors onto the public. Yeah.
All right, keep going about your game. I'd like to actually drill into this Jurassic Park thing a little bit, because I had a little bit. I kind of got on a Jurassic Park / World kick this past week, and I want to really get into that sandbox and like dig around a little bit. So
Like how so?
So first of all, let's talk about what did I get into? Jeez. Okay, so I was kind of like, scrolling through wikis as you do, and I was like, okay, why, I finally came to the realization, through the wiki, like, okay, I know that when they were designing these movies, they had to design the dinosaurs based on what people thought they looked like at the time. That's why Spinosaurus and T-Rex and all this stuff don't look like what we know them to look like now.
Yep. I know all of the lore, right? Mm-hmm. Like everything. Like I read the book.
Yeah.
I read both the books.
Oh, and I got into I finally got around to watching, at least skimming through Jurassic World 2.
Jurassic World 2?
Yeah.
Sucked.
It it was so much, like, it was weirdly dark. Yeah, it was weirdly dark, but at the same time not like, it was just like, it wasn't, for me, it wasn't a good movie. Yeah.
Like, if it was a movie on its own, mm-hmm. like, it wasn't part of the Jurassic Park franchise at all, be fine.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a good Jurassic movie, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
All right, so, well, first of all, for some reason, I find Indoraptor very visually pleasing. I don't know why. Like, yeah, it's very visually interesting dinosaur to me.
Yeah. So,
I remember what it was. I was watching it, and the Indoraptor escapes, right?
Yeah.
And
spoiler
alert. Yeah. So the Indoraptor escapes. It climbs on top of that old, Victorian mansion during a thunderstorm and roars. Mm-hmm. And I was like, for some reason, all the Jurassic World, I was like, geez, this creature is a Frankenstein. They Frankenstein this. These people, and I was like, these people just keep creating these monsters and expecting it to be okay.
Good. Yeah. I will agree with that. The design and the sound of the Indoraptor was very, very well done.
Yeah.
It sounds horrific when it roars, but it also sounds like it's in pain, like it's not supposed to go together.
Exactly. Yeah, it is a Frankenstein. They created a monster.
So what they should have done for that movie is, it's not, instead of it being on California, they built the mansion in Isla Sorna.
Okay.
And then I think a lot of the things in my mind would have been perfectly fine. Like, they're trapped with an Indoraptor on the new island.
Yeah, Isla Sorna was the first island they went to, right?
Isla Nublar is the first island, and that's the main island. Isla Sorna is the large island, where Jurassic Park 2 and 3 take place.
Yeah. So basically from Jurassic Park 2 and 3, Isla Nublar is just completely abandoned. Like, there's nothing there. There's a T-Rex.
We're gonna get into some lore. and stuff
Mm-hmm.
because I like it.
Okay.
So, Isla Nublar, after the events of Jurassic Park 1, had a small pack of Dilophosaurus.
Yeah.
Had a secondary pack of velociraptors that went extinct. Gallimimus, Triceratops, Parasaurolophus, Brachiosaurus, and T-Rexes. So basically, it was a semi-functioning ecosystem. It just, because of the T-Rex attacks, a lot of the herbivores never really gained a good population, healthy population. Isla Sorna is the population that really took off as its own real ecosystem.
Uh-huh. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. And secondly, so here's another thing why this sparked my Jurassic. This is the thing that sparked my Jurassic Park interest. So this guy, Dinosaur INS on Instagram, either just share. Okay, so they shared it. This is from Edureju from DeviantArt, and he basically made a D&D alignment chart with the dinosaurs.
Yes.
And then he put quotes, like he made up quotes that the dinosaurs like would have said basically underneath it.
Yeah.
And I read all these quotes, and like honestly, it was freaking it's not only spot on, but like I was like, oh my god, this adds so much depth. Makes these characters.
But I don't like that blue is lawful good. I don't like.
Did you actually read this?
No, I just saw it. But the thing that is lawful good is one of the herbivores. And I am going to alienate a lot of Jurassic World fans, but I don't like the character of Blue. I think it's dumb that they keep turning monsters into dogs, basically.
Maybe if they had like come out and specifically said that one was specifically meant to be a dog, so they like added they added the programming or something into it. I don't know.
Yeah, but like but the thing is, like, the Velociraptor is meant to be the apex predator.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though the T-Rex is big and strong and stuff, the Velociraptors are the thing to be feared, and they just turned it into a lovable goofball, basically, which is not okay. Like, Blue should be like just as dangerous to everybody else, you know.
Yeah, it's like it's not something you can control. You can only hope to point it in the right direction so that it attacks something that's not you.
Yep. Also, I think in the first Jurassic World movie, they should have had the Spinosaurus come out and defeat the Indominus.
Yeah.
You know? Let's move on. I like the T-Rex. Let's see something else.
Isn't the Spinosaurus supposed to make an appearance in the next movie?
No, it's dead. Canonically, it's dead.
Isn't another Spinosaurus supposed to...
Nope. It's a Giganotosaurus.
Isn't...
No.
How did the Spinosaurus die? Wait, don't tell me. I might watch Jurassic Cretaceous Camp.
No. No. So on Isla Sorna, because of the new species of Spinosaurus, Ankylosaurus, Corynthosaurus, the ecosystem kind of started becoming very fragile, but because the Spinosaurus is such an aggressive predator, it just started killing and eating everything, creating an ecological disaster, and it just died.
Interesting. Because I checked the wiki, and it said that its fate is unknown.
Well, it's canonical that the Spinosaurus skeleton that Rexy breaks through before a big battle is the Spinosaurus skeleton.
How about, no, it's not, because it's like an actual Spinosaurus skeleton?
Yeah, and also that was a terrible movie. That's the point.
Okay, Spinosaurus skeleton.
Jurassic World.
There we go. Okay. First of all, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's a terrible movie.
This is the Spinosaurus skeleton. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, it doesn't say anything about it, but let's see if we can find an image of it, because I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's so basically it's supposed to be the symbolic, T-Rex reclaiming its spot.
Oh,
but it's from what I read, that's what it was supposed to be, because the Spinosaurus is canonically dead. It died.
Like, look at it. That's way too, like, first of all, it's got that thing.
Yeah, the
and,
crest.
and second of all, it's way too small to be the Spino
action.
from
yeah.
Well,
it's a bad movie.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I will.
Yeah, I can see that point, but the Spinosaurus, I think, from my own headcanon, is one of the hybrids that was pushed out.
Yeah, because
by Simon Mizrahi.
Because remember, they said that it wasn't on InGen's list,
Nope.
And so I think
And
one of the theories I read was before like Mizrahi had taken over, but they didn't know about it. But that's when they were starting to try new strands to create the Indominus Rex.
Right. So, and in Dr. Wu's journals, he said that he abandoned a failed experiment on Isla Sorna, which is either the quilled raptors or the Spinosaurus, which I'm gonna guess is the Spinosaurus. But I think the first actual hybrid is obviously the Dilophosaurus.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It was bred with a what's the lizard called with the
Frilled lizard.
It's just a frilled lizard.
I think it's just a frilled lizard. I think it's just like the general name. There's got to be a scientific name.
But like seriously, like when they were naming it, they didn't say like I don't know. We'll call it the Australian sand dragon.
Frilled neck lizard.
That's wow. They freaking pulled out all the stops with naming that thing.
Yeah, the creative person.
Oh, it's called a Chlamydosaurus. Okay, I can see why they wanted to go with a different name.
Chlamydosaurus.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Why that particular one?
There's some trivia for you. What's a frilled lizard's name? It's a Chlamydosaurus.
Jesus Christ.
God.
Frilled neck lizards or frillies, as some call them. Nobody calls them that.
The frilled agama? Frilled dragon? Okay, that's more like it.
Okay. Chlamydosaurus. After knowing that, I could never call it anything else.
Yep.
I can't.
No.
Chlamydosaurus. That's gonna win me bar trivia one of these days.
Oh, look, in culture. In the 1993 film Jurassic Park, Dilophosaurus was portrayed with a frilled neck when attacking. And generated an increase in demand for frilled neck lizards as pets.
Notably in Japan, predominantly in 1989 for commercial.
That's a little. Jeez.
Jesus.
So people saw that Dilophosaurus and everyone was like, I want a frilled lizard as a pet.
I want a Chlamydosaurus. That is fucking amazing. I love that.
And I think that's all the Jurassic. I got on a Jurassic Park kick this past week. There's the news headline.
I've always been on a Jurassic Park kick. I love anything dinosaurs.
Yeah, I'll keep bringing it up. I'm still a dinosaur dude.
Oh yeah, that original movie still holds up.
It does.
It does hold up. But we got to get into some more gaming news because it's not just games anymore. It is TV and movies
and streaming. I don't consider streaming TV.
I consider it TV because it's episodic.
Fair. Okay. Well, all right. Just say the thing. Just what is it? What is the thing?
It's Halo. The new Halo TV series on it's Universal or Peacock.
I think so.
It's one of those two. Obviously, the one that nobody watches. The trailer dropped a few days ago. We don't know a lot. Pablo Schreiber is going to be playing John 117.
Pablo Schreiber.
Basically a big dude.
Yeah.
He's a big dude. Yeah, so that's going to be...
How tall is he?
He's,
It usually says... Sometimes it says... Okay, let's... But keep going.
Yeah, but, I'm kind of skeptical about this because the last couple of Halo movies...
That's a big boy.
That's a big boy. Man, it's a big boy. God damn, that's a big boy.
Oh, it's on Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus. So the only thing people use Paramount Plus for is to watch the propagandas on there and SpongeBob.
I got it so that our parents could watch the news, but then also it had Legend of Korra on there. So
really, why is it not? It's not on Netflix anymore.
I think it's still on Netflix, but I think it at the point I got it, it wasn't on Netflix yet.
But the last couple of Halo movies didn't really do well.
They were super low budget affairs, if I recall, right?
Yeah, well, no one's gonna drop big money on a video game movie
because they all suck so badly.
Well, yeah, but they also have really shitty directors and no budget. Again, Halo is a movie you need a big budget for. However, Forward Until Dawn, a Halo story, is actually a good movie.
Yeah, I'd watch that again.
Yeah, that was a good movie. Maybe it's not a good Halo movie, perhaps, but it's a good movie overall.
Yeah,
I definitely recommend that one. There's a second one, another Halo-esque movie. It has nothing really to do with Halo. It kind of takes place in the Halo universe.
Mhm.
That one again. That one's an okay movie. It's just not a good. It's probably not gonna tickle the fancy of a lot of the fans.
Right, exactly.
So there's not a lot of expectations on this, but because of the source material, it has a shit ton of potential.
Yeah, and Paramount, the Paramount Plus, they've been good at pushing out like the Star Trek shows. So if it's at least that quality, I think I'd watch it.
Yeah, but if you could boost that quality, because it's especially when you get into like the Covenant stuff, it's special effects heavy.
Yeah,
That's like a lot of special effects, and it's a war basically. So again, that's a big budget.
I wonder if they'll go practical effects with this one. That'd be sweet.
I would like that, but I would honestly like a fully realized Elite or Brute.
Yeah.
I don't want any of this like rubber masks or something. I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see a big boy.
Yeah.
Full
on, head to toe.
Head to toe, do it up. So I'm excited though.
Good.
I think that'd be good. We have to get on to the worst stuff. Resident Evil.
I don't have an image for that yet.
Good. The trailer dropped. We touched on this a little bit. It looks bad. It looks really bad.
Is this a movie or a show?
This is a movie. You said just put Resident. So the Resident Evil movie franchise in general isn't very good. The first one is like maybe the first two or three, of like that stupid action movie genre kind of thing going on, and then after that it's just Fast and the Furious but with zombies.
Yeah, the trailer met with mixed reactions from fans who praised its faithfulness to the first two games but criticized its casting and special effects. So we weren't the only ones to be like, hey, did you guys animate this with Flash Player or something? Because it's bad.
I don't really I can't shit on actors or actresses. They're doing the best they can do.
Yeah.
With especially really hard to act when the script isn't there. So I'm not gonna be like, oh, these aren't the actors I wanted, or they're doing a bad job. Like, hey, they're doing what they can do.
Yeah.
That's all I can ask for. I'm not really upset about that, but I've seen all the other Resident Evils and they suck.
Yeah.
They really, really suck. And the CGI in this does not look good. In the trailer,
that's when they're trying to sell it to you.
Yeah, and it's bad. I keep harping on this, but it's really bad. It's the 21st century. It's going to be the 22nd century at some point.
Yeah. We're knocking on the 22nd century, basically.
Yeah, we're knocking. We're knocking on heaven's door.
We're going to have Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century be a real deal coming up here.
Mm. We're closer to the year 3000 than we are to the year 1.
God. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a bad... I think that is going to be a massive, massive bomb.
Yep. It's going to release theatrically, so... First of all, theaters are not revving off on all pistons here right now.
Speaking of, James Bond.
Oh, yeah.
Was critically, was actually supposed to be, it was popular. So a lot of people went to see it.
Yeah, but it's not even going to break even at this point, right?
It's not even going to break even. Essentially, it is popular, but it's going to bomb anyway.
Right.
So it is streaming does not generate the money that theaters do. Theaters generate a massive amount of money, but streaming can get to more people.
Yeah, streaming gets to way more people, but it's more of a flat rate because people, they pay their dues and it's consistent, but it's not going to be that huge windfall that you're going to see from a one-time theater release.
Which is I'm excited about because I think that would mean more of indie movies, very cheap and focusing on the craft and the art of it, which is going to be fun, but also you miss out on the big blockbuster, high energy kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, what people are noticing right now is that I've seen this brought up a few times before, that the movies have basically moved to two categories, either like you say, the lower budget indie movies, which can be very good, or the mega blockbusters like freaking Marvel movies. and they're like, there's a lot less of like those middle ground. Like a lot of people point to like comedy or rom-com movies.
Yeah.
Like, there's not really any more of those being produced.
Yeah, I would disagree. I think there are an absolute shit ton. They're just terrible. They're on Netflix. You know, it's the Netflix rom-com.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own like terrible rom-coms. It's the Hallmark. Yeah, everyone could produce their own Hallmark movies.
Yeah, Netflix has got terrible Christmas movies out the wazoo every year.
Yeah, and
Christmas Prince 5.
the rechristening.
Yeah, I think Caitlin's gonna make me watch that this
God
year.
damn it, I hate that. I hate Christmas movies. And then my mom actually started watching this Netflix show called Cuckoo with Andy Samberg.
Yeah.
Is that his name from Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yeah, Andy Samberg.
Andy Samberg. Yeah, and it's really really bad, but it's content. You know,
It fills up space basically.
it fills up space. Also, Andy Samberg. I've never seen him do any acting. It's always the same thing.
Lovable goofball.
Lovable goofball. If you see Hot Rod, that's the peak.
Yeah, that's Andy Samberg at his best basically.
Yeah. Don't watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Watch Hot Rod.
I mean, we watch Brooklyn Nine. Like Kit and I watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's one of our favorite shows. So watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine. But if you want to watch Hot Rod first, because that is peak Andy Samberg. I have not seen him in anything better. That movie, that script, that setting was perfect for him. Yeah.
Also, low budget. I mean, with low budget, I feel like what they should do is like get like directors and actors to do low budget stuff, hit it out of the park, and then just be like, here's a check, blank, do something with it.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. Like what they did with was it James Gunn who directed Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like they were like, oh, no, we're not going to let you do the Suicide Squad, and then he knocked out of the park with Guardians of the Galaxy, and then like, okay, we're going to let you do whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what we're gonna see, especially with video game movies are kind of a tricky thing because they have an ingrown audience of highly dedicated fans that will see it, but they are going to be ravenous if you fuck it up. Like, Monster Hunter sucked, and those fans are diehard.
Yeah. How do you mess up Monster Hunter? The story is in the title. It's two words.
You know how I
hunt the monsters.
You know how I knew it was gonna be bad?
Wow.
I saw that there was modern shit. I was just like, oh, they're gonna go portal into that world, and it's gonna be terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a very 80s movie like trope.
The pinnacle of movies was when He-Man came to our world.
Yeah.
He's the master of the universe, but now he's gotta buy a hot dog on the streets.
How's Dolph Lundgren gonna figure this shit out?
And Skeletor's wearing some Nike kicks. I'm gonna kill you, He-Man, with my Nike pump-ups.
He's got a sword and a lot of muscles. Let's see him navigate flagging down a taxi.
Taxi! Yeah, it's fine.
That's it.
That's it.
You put your hand out.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on. So let's see here. Let's talk about something else. Okay, so we're getting near the end of the show. Let's move on to something besides video games.
Okay.
Let's talk about something that went on in the world, nerd world this week.
All right.
Spider-Man: No Way Home dropped a new trailer. Did you watch it?
I watched it. This was the first time in a long time I was actually excited to see a trailer.
Could that trailer be a little less fucking bodacious, please? Because I don't know if my heart can take it. Here's a little image from it. That's only half the villains.
That's half of the Sinister Six.
It's half of the Sinister Six from this movie. So this movie seems like they finally sat down with fans of like Spider-Man in the movies, and we're just like, what do you want? They're like, puts Doctor Strange in it. Sure, fine. Multiverse. Sure, fine. Bring back all the villains from the old movies. Yeah, sure, you got it. They just said, like, it seems like they sat down with the fans and just gave them what they wanted with this one.
Who played Electrode in the last Spider-Man movie?
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx. I'm going to tell you right now, Jamie Foxx did an absolute awesome job with his role.
I just wanted to give him a hug.
Yeah.
I just wanted to give him a hug.
It was odd. If he was the only villain in it,
yeah,
it would have been perfect. And he's reprising his role. They knew who they needed to cast.
Yeah.
They were like, we're just not going to cast these random people. We need to bring back the real people. Dr. Octavius, The thing that got me super excited was that when he captures Spider-Man, he's like, "You're not Peter." And he's just probably gonna be like a chill dude after that.
Yeah.
You know, that's something I got super excited for. We're gonna see like, yeah, we're gonna see villains, but they're not gonna be completely like harebrained evil.
Yeah, they got depth to them.
They got personality.
Speaking of villains, so name off the villains who you think are in this movie.
Electro, Sandman, the Lizard,
Yeah, you see
Dr. Octavius, Venom.
Okay, Venom. Do you think Venom's going to be in that one?
Did you see the end of?
No, I haven't watched it.
Oh, you want me to spoil it for you?
I haven't planned on. I'm not going to watch that movie. You said it sucked.
Yeah, it did suck. So the end credit scene. Spoiler alert for anybody. End credit scene. He and Venom are in a hotel room, and they're chilling out, and then something happens. It's like the earthquake, and then their room changes a little bit, and then the TV changes, and it's Peter Parker on there, and it's Venom. Venom like takes over Eddie Brock. It's like he wants to get Peter Parker.
Huh.
He's in the universe now.
Okay, so yeah,
But am I missing one? I'm missing one.
the Glen Gorblin.
Glenn Gorblin?
You're missing the
Djibouti Bubs. Oh, wow. This is an impressive resume, Glenn Gorblin.
You're missing Glen Gorblin. But here's the deal. I think it's not just Willem Dafoe, Glen Gorblin. It's also, what's his face? The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Glen Gorblin.
It's Emo Boy.
Yeah. So look. There's a little clip in the trailer with this guy.
Yeah.
I am like 99% sure that that's Amazing Spider-Man 2, Glen Gorblin.
I doubt it. Why would that would be too much? Don't you think?
There's already like 7 people in this movie, so they decided to not only bring back all the villains, but they are also throwing in Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, I think that there's going to be 2 Green Goblins in this one.
That's a lot. Although they did pull it off in Infinity War.
Yeah,
very well. So if they could pull this off, I'm excited. Also,
I don't think anyone's noticed that or talking about it. I do think that this is the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Glen Gorblin.
Okay. I think this. I'm really excited. I think William Dafoe again did an amazing job with the Green Goblin. The Amazing Spider like this. Dane DeHaan.
Dane DeHaan, yeah.
I think Spider-Man, all the movies, whether you like them or not, their villains are really good. Tobey Maguire was he wasn't the best as Venom, but he did what was called for him.
Yeah.
At least it was
Topher
memorable.
Grace.
Oh, it's Topher Grace.
Yeah. Tobey Maguire was Venomized Spider-Man, but yeah, Topher Grace was
Topher Grace.
Yeah. Yeah, he showed up in the third act for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, he did what he had to do. He was okay as Venom.
Yeah.
It wasn't the worst thing in the world. I wasn't upset with that.
No.
I was more upset with like the movie overall. But I am excited. William Dafoe is coming back.
Like when you hear his laugh in the voiceover, it's like for some. Okay, so the Green Goblin, let's face, is probably not the most impressive like villain of that movie, let's say. But when you hear him talking, you're like, holy shit! Like this has such ramifications. It's definitely
I think William Dafoe's Green Goblin is the Joker of the Marvel Universe
for sure.
I would have liked to see if he was like more of an overarching villain throughout the movies. That would have been awesome.
Yeah,
Spider-Man's ultimate nemesis.
like he is in the comics, basically.
Yeah. I didn't really get that impression in the comics. I never really thought the Green Goblin was really that impressive or intimidating. And then I saw him in the movie, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
He actually looks kind of really intimidating, with the helmet, the glider, William Dafoe, just generally, is really good.
So another thing is, if you guys, spoiler alert, but if you guys have been watching recent Marvel movies and properties, they've been sort of hinting at there being a Dark Avengers. Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character, the Contessa, has been going around recruiting.
Madam Hydra.
Yeah, Madam Hydra has basically been going around recruiting, the dark reflection of the Avengers. We're pretty sure it's going to show up later.
Yeah.
Anywho,
and then I think they'll have to go up against Young Avengers.
yeah. But the thing is, in the comics, there is a storyline where like the Dark Avengers like takes out like comes to prominence, and they start they are the Dark Avengers. They're like saving the world, but they are evil. They're bad at it, and the person who's leading them is Norman Osborn, the Iron Patriot.
Huh.
Yeah, he invents the Iron Patriot armor and persona to lead the Dark Avengers.
Well, aren't they also the Thunderbolts, or is that a different?
That's a different one. Yeah, the Thunderbolts are basically the Suicide Squad of Marvel. They're like ex-villains and like anti-heroes that come together.
I think but like the point of the Suicide Squad is if they didn't have a bomb in their neck, they'd just start killing everybody.
Yeah.
Whereas the Thunderbolts were kind of like more like, all right, I'm gonna commute my sentence. I'm gonna be a good boy.
Right.
Kind of thing. I would be excited to see Red Hulk though.
Yeah.
Red Hulk would be kind of cool.
Yeah, and of course, I always want Ghost Rider to make an appearance besides in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Not that I didn't enjoy that performance. It was very good, but yeah, I definitely don't. Ghost Rider is one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
And he definitely deserves a better treatment than Nicolas Cage gave him. Not to say that it's like all Nicolas Cage's fault or he didn't do his best and put on a good show in that movie. It's just those movies were not good.
Early Marvel movies were
interesting. They were on another level.
Yeah, they were.
Like that's talking about like the early 2000s Marvels. Like we're not even getting into like the 80s Marvel movies, which were, they took a bump of coke like between every shot of those movies.
Oh yeah. The original Captain America.
Holy fuck! You can't. It's unwatchable.
It is completely unwatchable. But I'm excited. I am really, really excited for this movie. This is one of the only movies I'm going to see in theaters probably this coming year.
Probably me too.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done seeing movies in theaters. I'm done with that.
All right, so let's see here. What else we want to talk about? Is there anything else you want to talk about before I get launched into a tirade here?
Just prepare ourselves. There's a Jimmy tirade coming up.
That's right. So usually I do at this point in the show, I take a time to do a TikTok on the clock where I take a TikTok prompt, we talk about it. But since Matt's not here, I'm just going to talk about something else. So recently I've seen some discussions about Starship Troopers. It's been kind of a hot topic. And Starship, the 1997 movie, honestly, that movie still holds up. So, like, the special effects in that movie still kind of hold up.
Yeah, why are we slacking on the special effects these days?
I don't know. Like, 90s movies, special effects still holding up? What the fuck? Anyway, so, it's,
they had practical effects. They had practical effects at the wazoo.
Yeah. So, basically, the ongoing debate about Starship Troopers is it self-aware or is it making fascism look sexy? And the answer to both of those is yes, in my opinion. But, like, yeah, so that's kind of a debate, like, is it good, is it bad, is it self-aware, is it not, etc. What is its portrayal meant to be or supposed to be? And is it portraying fascism, essentially? I don't want to get super-duper political in here.
I will.
So here's the deal, though. I don't mess around with real-life conspiracy theories, but I'll mess around with fictional conspiracy theories all day. In my fictional conspiracy theory that since I was a kid, the Federation definitely faked that bug attack on Earth. The Buenos Aires bug attack was faked.
the meteorite. Yeah.
So here's the just to get into the nitty gritty of it. So here we've got on the right is the bug system. On the left is you are here. That's the Milky Way. I looked it up on Google. If that meteor was traveling at the speed of light, it would have taken over 100,000 years to reach Earth.
Yep.
So the bugs, there's no way the bugs launched that meteor and And the other thing is, the bugs are on the other side of space without faster than light speed technology. It would have taken them millions of years to reach Earth as it was. So yeah, people are wondering, oh, where's the Federation state? Yes, it was. It completely faked that attack so they could go to war with the bugs.
That's they already had the precedent to go to war with the bugs with the Mormon missionaries getting attacked in the beginning. So so they were pretty much already at war at that point, and then they got people riled up with the meteorite. But I have a little bit of spice that we want to put on that.
Okay, all right. What's the secret sauce you got going here, Jared? Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
You ready for the spice?
Okay, I'm waiting. Yeah. What is it?
For that spice? All right. So the secondary one of the secondary character played by Barney, aka the psychic friend.
Yeah.
I think that's what his program was doing in the first place. They were because they can't just have like a ship or something pull a meteorite and hit Earth, especially hitting a city directly. I think with him in charge, they psychically pulled a meteorite down. So it's the small group of Gestapo-esque loyalists that perpetrated this, so no one else can know about it.
Right. Yeah, because and then that whole scene where they're like, "Where are we going? We're going to war!" Like they basically got attacked and decided to go to war within like 5 minutes. Like they had that shit set up.
Yeah.
So this was definitely a completely set up attack.
Yeah, and to your point, is it so the book is definitely so basically the author of the book, I forget his name. Basically he wrote a science fiction, but it's a guide on how he thinks government should run, essentially. It's about how veterans are the only ones to vote, and you can only vote if you do like service for the state for, basically be in the military for, however many years. So that's what the book was about. And the movie itself is a satire of fascism. But the thing is about satire is people that agree with what you're satirizing can see it as a fan thing.
Yeah.
So it is a satire, and even in the commentary, and because the director is a Danish-born man during Nazi-occupied Holland, so he has seen the rise and fall of fascism. So he's very anti-fascist. So it is a satire of fascism. It's just that satire can blow back in your face sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what the debate about that movie is. But people were like, "Oh, is it? Was the no one mentions this at all." People are like, arguing like, "Oh, is it fascist? Is it not?" Like that government completely faked that attack so they could go to war with space bugs that were not a problem to begin with. So.
Well, fascism is a political system based on service to the state and a rigid hierarchy, which is what they have. It's a political movement perpetrated by their quote veterans. We're not going against our veterans or anything.
It's in this fictional world.
This fictional world that took over, and you only become a voting citizen after you join the military for a certain amount of time. So that's part of the fascist state. You can only become part of the actual state and become a citizen by doing that. That's how that works. So yeah, it is a fascist state. I guess in this world it's the better fascist states because they're not really because it's a world government and they don't have anyone to go against, but as soon as they have something to fight, they're just going to throw people into the meat grinder.
Yeah. So we said we weren't going to get political on this podcast.
Well, I mean, Starship Troopers is inherently political.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, all art is inherently political.
All art. Like what about color in between the lines art?
Yeah.
What about when they make a bowl of apples?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
they know what they're saying in that.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, yeah. Like you were saying, a lot even talking about Star Wars, you can't separate political from fictional sometimes because it's inspired by that.
And I think it's also because people either consciously or subconsciously will put their own biases in. That's why Disney princesses going up to modern day have been white. It's just how Disney was because he was born in the 30s and he was a dick with a great mustache.
Wow, Jared, you are just the cultural maverick to be dropping these bombs right now.
This is what I'm good at. This is the only thing I'm good at. I don't have any hand-eye coordination. I'm gangly. I'm like I had the health issues of a sick seal.
I guess.
This is it. This is all I have.
You can get loud and irate and talk to people. About
I'm the
politics.
guy in the group, in the chats, like in your comment sections, starting philosophical fights with all the all the citations ready. That's me.
Yeah.
That's all I have in my life.
So we got extra historical and extra political on this podcast,
Yeah.
but we hope you guys really enjoyed it. You know, we talked mostly about the games that we are looking forward to getting this year. So if you guys have a favorite game that you either are playing or looking forward to getting this year, please let us know. Drop us a line, put it in the messages in the comments. We will not be streaming next week because it is a holiday weekend. We will be on the road, etc.
It is Thanksgiving. We will be posting though. We do observe. We do love doing this podcast, but we do have to spend time with our families. Get out of the bunker every once in a while.
We gotta go save Matt for being sucked into the Scarlet King's dimension.
We can push that off.
I mean,
We can push that off.
I mean, I got an appointment next week, so maybe like, you know, can we like move it back just a little bit?
Move it back.
He can endure torture on a molecular level for another day, right?
Yeah, and he doesn't have a soul because he sold it for that Taco Bell mega burrito once. Remember? So,
I told him that you can just get Baja Blast anywhere, but he was like, nope.
Yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, well, thank you guys so much for watching. You know,
and of course, we want a big thank you for Big Nerd Coffee Company. They are a sponsor now, and we will be working closer with them, and we are so happy to do so. They're a great company, and we prefer to work with local companies and, you know, good companies too that we can talk directly to, and they have everything in spades, and we're just so happy to have them on our side and be part of that.
Yep, so go check them out. They're on Facebook at Big Nerd Coffee Company. Yeah, so hopefully we'll be back. We'll be out of Game-vember. We'll be talking about something else. We'll be expanding our repertoire. But please let us know if you guys have a game that you want to talk about. Drop us a line. We will see you on the next round, and hopefully we'll get Matt back in here.
Yeah, and we'll let us know if you want us to get more or less political. We're gonna get less. We're gonna try to stay out of political, but I'm definitely gonna talk about philosophy because that's boring shit I love.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind, you know, dipping my toe into the political sphere here. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Jimmy.
This has been Jarrett.
And I'm about to delete all of this.
I hope so, because you had